Join our new Torah Hebrew Immersion series. Immerse in Torah and Hebrew. Learn while working in the text. Discover a new reality. Learn Biblical Hebrew. Learn Torah structure. Aleph, Beit, Gimel. 1, 2, 3. Guided by the numerical structure of the Torah. Come and learn at your own pace. Language immersion. Learning a second language is an unnatural experience unless one's environment is multilingual by nature or necessity. This is one of a series of lessons that are designed to permit the learner to be simultaneously immersed in Torah and Hebrew. The lessons are aimed at removing the frustration of having to learn Hebrew before learning the Torah. If our mission is successful, one will have difficulty differentiating whether he is learning Hebrew or Torah. Understanding our perspective of Torah and Hebrew immersion. One, the Torah, the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, is not only the primary source of instruction, it is the divine source of instruction. The Creator is the author of the Torah. There are not multiple authors, according to this school of learning. The Torah is written in the Hebrew language, which has both a numerical structure and linguistic embellishments. Hebrew is the original language. God doesn't change. So if God spoke the Torah, he would have had to speak it in his original language, since he does not change. Therefore, Hebrew is the original language of man. The Hebrew of the Torah has a unique numerical structure embedded within it, and most of our teachings are centered around that structure. The Torah is where one encounters the Creator, and to ignore either the language, structure, or embellishments automatically limits one's encounter with the Creator. Understanding our perspective of Torah and Hebrew immersion. Please enter the conversation as a family member. You are seated at the family table, and notebooks are not required here. That doesn't mean you can't have a notebook or take notes or whatever, but It is not required for you to take notes. Try to understand and interact with what you can at the moment. Don't be afraid to ask questions, but remember that only the text can provide absolute answers. So you must question the text. While the conversation may be ongoing, it continually cycles and recycles important information in multiple settings. You can pause, rewind, and review the conversation as you wish. Don't worry if you miss something. More than likely, it will show up again in another venue, from another perspective. Just involve yourself in the current conversation. Grasp what you can currently. This is a family discussion. All human beings have one spiritual father, so everyone belongs at the table. Our goal is sincere family fellowship involved in divine Torah conversation, and not the arrogance of mixed knowledgeability. And when I say mixed knowledgeability, I mean bringing in wisdom from other sources, which may be relevant and may be irrelevant, may be good, may be damaging. The point is, everything must be related to the Torah. Everything must be compared to the Torah. The Torah rules over everything. So our conversation needs to be focused on the Torah. And that would exclude such things as the Talmud. It would exclude such things as the New Testament. It would exclude such things as the Quran. It actually excludes all religious works. The Torah is the words that God gave to Moses to write, and they are for the whole of the world, first to the nation of Israel, but then to all the nations. Lesson 3, the first 18 occurrences of the consonant Beit, found in the Torah. From the rock-solid numerical structure of the Torah, presented by Philip E. Stiefel, Avi Publications, avipublications.com, and YouTube channel Torah 123. What on earth is the rock-solid numerical structure of the Torah? 10 foundational principles that form the structure of the Torah and possibly the whole of creation. The numerical structure of the Torah is the foundation upon which all our teachings rest. The numerical structure of the Torah. In other words, structure and foliage, numerals and letters, embedded and apparent, oh wow, the structure must have preceded the leaves. the hidden numerical structure of the Torah. Well, Herbie, here they are, the Big Ten. Herbie, I discovered these 10 principles by observation and analysis over thousands of times. The numerical structure of the Torah, 10 principles. The Creator is the foundation of everything. Number 1. Number 2, division, separation, or two aspects of a matter. 3, an encounter with the Creator. 4, action on the part of God or man. 5, honor creators, long life. 6, mankind or human nature. 7, completion, cycle, or cycle of repeated events. 8, an exchange, good or bad. 9, a good matter, functioning according to the divine plan. 10, a command, a covenant, or a test of a covenant. Maybe you should urge your friends to memorize them, because they may have existed before creation. Before creation? Really? They might also be considered as 10 patterns of thought that weave the fabric of the Torah. A special word of thanks to the tool makers. Without the capabilities of the Bible Scholar software, none of this research concerning the numerical structure of the Torah would have been within my grasp. You can examine and purchase Bible Scholar software at this address. All Hebrew consonant, syllable, and word searches. All punctuation and vowel pointing. All Hebrew to English translations and quotations. All the above tasks were performed with the Bible Scholar software. Please note that I do not receive any compensation from the Bible Scholar software. All quotations from the Hebrew Bible are from the Bible Scholar software unless otherwise designated. Permission to use these quotations has not been requested, since they are used according to the purpose and design of the software in an academic venue. As a scholar researching the numerical structure, one would have to seek daily permission to publish each aspect of research. That is how reliant I am upon this software. The multitude of unique searches required to demonstrate the existence and validity of the underlying numerical structure could not be efficiently accomplished without a computer, the Bible Scholar search engine, and its accompanying translation. Microsoft PowerPoint provided a creative platform to pictorially present the truths of the numerical structure of the Torah. Be enlightened. Learn what you can. Keep moving toward the light of the Creator. Dear friends, this is Herbie, my primary student. He is my inner self, who, like an inquisitive child, asks many questions out of love and respect. He persists until he gets a suitable answer. Over the years, his questions have become more challenging, and his persistence is often unyielding. His quest for Torah knowledge began by observing and listening. His persistence led me to the gate of the numerical structure of the Torah, and today we are going to utilize that structure in relation to the consonant Beit. Please, don't be intimidated. Learn as you go and at your own pace. Casually enjoy the sights and make your own connections along the way. Pause the video anytime you wish. Please do not pressure yourself to retain all that you have encountered. The Torah by nature is repetitive. Herbie, the only way to know what the consonant Beit means in the Torah is to examine how the Creator used it. Watch carefully as the first occurrence and the first principle are displayed. The first occurrence of Beit is found in the word Bereshit. Be, inside, Reshit, first of. Found in vessel or verse, Bereshit or Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, Bereshit, God created the heaven and the earth. Numerical principle number 1. The Creator is the foundation of everything. Wow, that's awesome. Beit equals in this translation. Notice up in our verse there, the word in red. In the beginning is all those three words are comprised that one Hebrew word, Bereshit. This is a poor translation. Now, I don't mean any reflection on the Bible Scholar translation here, because all English translations appear to follow this path of understanding. Beit equals inside. Inside, first of, is a good translation. It is a literal translation. It is also a contextual translation, and that is what our efforts are to prove that it is contextual. Inside is the foundational concept of the Torah. Inside is related just to the one consonant, Beit, the very first consonant. The foundational concept of the Torah forms the foundational concept of the Torah. Imagine that. Imagine how important in the mind of the Creator and to our understanding that consonant Beit must be. Beit is improperly connected with the concept of time. Beit instructs us to the how of creation, or the where of creation, and not the when of creation. Let's look at that again. Beit instructs us to the how of creation, or the where of creation, not the when of creation. Herbie, the foundational concept of the first consonant of the Torah is that the Creator works inside His creation. That's the how, but it's also the where. Be enlightened. Learn what you can. Keep moving toward the light of the Creator. Herbie, the second principle involves division, separation, or two aspects of a matter. We must first find out what the matter is, and then we can look for its two aspects. Okay, I got that. The second occurrence of Beit. Is found in the word bara, meaning He created. Found in vessel or verse, Bereshit or Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God, He created the heavens and the earth. Notice heavens has a red letter at the end of it because that is not in the translation, but it is the Hebrew. It's talking about heavens, plural. Numerical principle number 2, division, separation, or two aspects of a matter. God is one, so He can't be the matter. We cannot divide God. He created is a singular verb, so that can't be the matter. However, there are two direct objects of the verb He created. Therefore, the heavens and the earth must be the two aspects of the matter. So we set out to try to find the matter, but we are actually coming at this backwards because we found the two aspects. So then what is the matter? Beit instructs us that the matter of creation has two aspects, the heavens and the earth. Let me back up here just a minute. Beit instructs us that the matter of creation has two aspects, the heavens and the earth. So there we have the matter. It's the matter of creation. Now the text really says the whole of the heavens and the whole of the earth. And that's because of these two consonants that are found in there called Aleph Tav. And they have been mysticized, they have been mistranslated, and again, they have really just been abused due to a lack of understanding of their context. We're going to study more about Aleph Tav, but right here I can tell you that Aleph Tav is not a direct object indicator, because each word, the heavens has a definite article and the earth has a definite article, so it does not meet the criteria of a direct object indicator. That is our first introduction into Aleph Tav. What it means here in this case is that the Creator created the whole of the heavens and the whole of the earth. So, Herbie, this Torah vessel is truly related to its numerical principle. Be enlightened, learn what you can, keep moving toward the light of the Creator. Herbie, the third numerical principle is related to an encounter with the Creator. Watch carefully as the vessel is displayed and see if you can find the encounter. Me? Okay, I'll try. The third occurrence of Beit. It's found in the word bain, between. In vessel or verse, Bereshit or Genesis 1:4, and God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided bain, between the light, and bain, vain, the darkness. Okay, I don't know if you're seeing this, but in this word translated in English both times, between, one has a bait and the other has a bait. That should awaken our attention. Numerical principle number 3, an encounter with the Creator. I see it. God divided between the light and darkness. Herbie, great job. You nailed it. Do you see how the numerical structure can help you understand a vessel? The divine encounter is when the Creator divides between the light and the darkness. The Creator is right in the middle of the action. This is another example of how the Creator works inside His creation. Be enlightened, learn what you can, keep moving toward the light of the Creator. Herbie, the fourth principle is related to action on the part of the Creator, man, or both. What is the action which the principle is referring to? Oh, that's going to be easy. The fourth occurrence of Beit. Found in the word betok, in the midst. Found in vessel or verse, Bereshit or Genesis 1:6. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst, betok, of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Numerical principle number 4, action on the part of the Creator, man, or both. I see it. God said is the action. Herbie, you nailed it again. God speaking a command to the firmament to come into existence. Look, Beit is in the word that means inside or in the midst of the waters. The firmament, heaven, not the heavens which are far off, is in the midst of the near waters of earth and the far waters of heaven, of the heavens. Be enlightened, learn what you can, keep moving toward the light of the Creator. Herbie, the fifth principle is related to honoring and respecting parents or creators and a long life. This one may be more difficult to determine. Well, I can at least try. The fifth occurrence of Beit. In the word bain, between. In vessel or verse, Bereshit or Genesis 1:6, and God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from bain, between the waters. Numerical principle number 5, honor and respect for creators and a long life. I'm not sure about this one. I need some help. Herbie, this is probably difficult for most people to truly understand. Many speak in lofty terms about God being our Father. However, they may be missing the divine parental relationship, which is centered around respect. The Creator, our Father, our third parent, is not in the far-off heavens. Now, when I say that, that doesn't mean that he doesn't go there, but as far as we're concerned, he's not in the far-off heavens. He is continually in the firmament, heaven, and in the earth. In other words, he's not going off in some faraway place and abandon us. He's a Father who is here and is going to do his very best to see that we are raised as good children. However, for both the Creator and man to have a wholesome family relationship, one must honor and respect him as a parent who has one's best interest in mind at all times. That can separate the loftiness from the practicality of things. Be enlightened, learn what you can, keep moving toward the light of the Creator. Herbie, the sixth principle is related to mankind or human nature. What's your thoughts on that? The sixth occurrence of Beit is found in the word bane, between. The word bane sure pops up a lot. There is a strong connection there, isn't there? Found in vessel or verse, Bereshit or Genesis 1:7, and God made the firmament and divided bane, between the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. Now, this sixth occurrence is related to the sixth principle, numerical principle number 6, related to mankind or human nature. Oh, where's the connection? Oh boy, this one is as clear as mud. Well, Herbie, mud may not be as far from the answer as you think. The firmament forms a barrier between the far waters of the heavens and the waters of the earth. The word shamayim, heavens, literally sha, or from the word sham, far, and mayim, waters. The converging of these waters was not good for mankind, and was caused by mankind's errant human nature. During the Great Flood, this division of waters may have been suspended, and the windows of the heavens were opened for 40 days and nights. That's found, I think, starting in Bereshit 7:11, and you can catch it up in Bereshit 8:2, I think. Only 8 souls survived the deluge, but at first there was probably a lot of mud to deal with. Yes, Herbie, I would say that the firmament is related to mankind and human nature. Be enlightened, learn what you can, keep moving toward the light of the Creator. Herbie, the seventh principle is related to a completion, cycle, or a cycle of repeated events. Are you ready to tackle this one? I think so. The seventh occurrence of Beit, found in the word Hayabasha, meaning the dry land. Found in vessel or verse, Bereshit or Genesis 1:9. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together to one place, and let the dry land, Hayabasha, appear. And it was so. Numerical principle number 7, completion, cycle, or a cycle of repeated events. The dry land is a completed entity. It is still here now. Herbie, you're spot on. The connection here is with the dry land. The whole surface of the earth is no longer covered with water as it was in the beginning. The dry land has not disappeared over the ages. The dry land may vary in dimensions at different times. The dry land will never disappear because it is part of the Creator's overall plan. Remember, the Creator said that he would never again destroy the earth with a flood. Bereshit 9:11. Be enlightened, learn what you can, keep moving toward the light of the Creator. Herbie, the 8th principle is related to an exchange, good or bad. What about this one? Are you up to it? The 8th occurrence of Beit. Found in the word Layabasha, to the dry land. Found in vessel or verse, Bereshit or Genesis 1:10. And God called to the dry land, Layabasha, earth. And the gathering together of the waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Numerical principle number 8, an exchange, good or bad. I'm beginning to see how this works. The Creator named the dry land earth. Herbie, that's great. You are becoming very observant. The Creator called the dry land earth. Therefore, the globe or world consists of the dry land, earth, and the seas. There are 2 exchanges of naming here. One, the earth is now defined as the dry land, and the deep, the home, has been gathered into seas, Yamim. Both of these exchanges are Tov, meaning functioning according to the Creator's plan. These would be considered good exchanges. Be enlightened, learn what you can, keep moving toward the light of the Creator. Herbie, the ninth principle is related to Tov, a good matter, functioning according to the Creator's plan. The Hebrew word Tov is usually translated as good. But what is good? Good here is a matter that is functioning according to the Creator's plan. I'm sure you're up to this one. The ninth occurrence of Beit. In the word birkia, in the firmament. Found in vessel or verse, Bereshit or Genesis 1, verse 14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament, birkia, of the heaven, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. Numerical principle number 9, Tov, a good matter, something functioning according to the divine plan. This is beginning to be exciting. The sun and the moon are doing their job according to the Creator's plan. Herbie, they sure are, and you are making some good connections. The lights are the sun and the moon, which are inside of the firmament, which is also inside of the heavens. The Hebrew word tov is related to divine intention, which is also always beneficial to man. Tov properly relates to something functioning according to the divine plan, not necessarily to man's plan. The purpose and functioning of these lights are eternal. Be enlightened, learn what you can, keep moving toward the light of the Creator. Herbie, the 10th numerical principle is related to a divine command. What is the divine command involved in this vessel of knowledge? The 10th occurrence of Beit. The word Bain, there it is again, between, Bain. Found in vessel or verse, Bereshit, Genesis 1:14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide Bain, between, the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. Numerical principle number 10, a divine command, covenant, oath, or a test of a command. This can't be too hard. The purpose of these lights, or lamps, is to divide the period of one day into two aspects. The lights or lamps are illuminated points of division. These lamps are the physical manifestation of a divine command or word of instruction. I got it. The sun and the moon were commanded to divide the day from the night. Herbie, that's correct. Great job. Day is also used to define a period of time. Sunlight plus moonlight equals 1 day. Herbie, the 11th principle involves 2 principles. The numerical principles are a base 10 system, much like our mathematical system. The 11th principle is comprised of the 10th and 1st principles. Let's look at this one together, and then you can tackle the next one. The 11th occurrence of Beit. The word birkia in the firmament. Found in vessel or verse, Bereshit, Genesis 1. And let them be for lights in the firmament, birkia, of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. Numerical principle number 11, verse 10. A divine command, covenant, oath, or test of command, combined with 1. The Creator is the foundation of everything. Okay, let's see what is new. The command, and be for lights in the firmament of the heavens, to give light upon the earth. The foundation, to give light upon the earth. The combination, 10, be for lights combined with 1 to give light upon the earth. Herbie the Creator commanded the lights to come into existence. Their purpose is to give light upon the earth all times of the day. Well, that wasn't so hard. Herbie, the 12th principle also involves 2 principles. We should be looking for a command combined with division or 2 aspects of a matter. The 12th occurrence of Beit. Found in the word birkia in the firmament. Found in vessel Bereshit 1:17, and God set them in the firmament, birkia, of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. Numerical principle number 12 involves principle 10, a divine command, covenant, oath, or test of a command, combined with principle 2, division, separation, or 2 aspects of a matter. Command, 2 aspects. The command must be to give light. The two lights were commanded to give light upon the earth. Yes, Herbie, the command is to give light, and the two aspects of this type of light are the sun and the moon. This facet of light is not the same as when the Creator said, "Light be." Since the sun and the moon are created and commanded objects, they should not be worshipped. Herbie, the 13th principle involves the 10th and 3rd principles. This occurrence of Beit should demonstrate a divine command combined with a divine encounter. Command, encounter. The 13th occurrence of Beit. In the word bayom, inside the day. Bereshit 1:18, and to rule over the day. Actually, it should be inside the day. It has the Beit, and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness, and God saw that it was good. Numerical principle number 13 involves 10, a divine command, covenant, oath, or test of a command, combined with 3, an encounter with the Creator. The transition between these two lights is a matter which functions according to the divine command and plan. The ruling is a matter of shining. The planets don't speak or anything, they just shine, but they have designated times to shine. The sun shines inside the daylight portion of the day and over the moonlight portion. Now get this, the sun shines directly upon the earth, but at night the sun shines upon the surface of the moon and is reflected to the earth. So there's a difference of the sunlight being in the earth and being over the earth. Is the encounter when God saw that it was good? Herbie, good thinking. That is the divine encounter. You nailed it. Great job. The encounter is demonstrated by the Creator ensuring that the transition was functioning according to the divine plan. Notice that the Creator oversees everything that He speaks, says, or does to see that it is functioning according to His plan. He just doesn't leave it go unchecked. Beit is involved in the midst of these entities of day and night. Herbie, the 14th principle involves the 10th and 4th principles. This occurrence of Beit should demonstrate a divine command combined with action on the part of the Creator or others. The 14th occurrence of Beit is in the word bain, between. found in Bereshit 1:18, and to rule over, as we said, inside the day and over the night, and to divide Bain between the light from Uvain between the darkness. And God saw that it was good. Now notice there's a difference. In relation to the light, we're using Bain, and in relation to the darkness, we're using Vain. One has something inside, and the other is void and empty. Numerical principle number 14 is comprised of principle 10, a divine command, covenant, oath, or test of a command combined with for action on the part of the Creator, man, or both. Command, action, command, rule, action, maybe to divide. Herbie, you are really getting good at following the Creator's plan for reading the text. The command is to rule over the whole day. The action is related to the division between light and darkness. The Hebrew conception is difficult because between is used in relation to both the light and the darkness. Concerning the light, a Beit is used, and concerning the darkness, a Beit is used. So you're looking at occupied versus empty. Herbie, the 15th principle involves the 10th and 5th principles. This occurrence of Beit should demonstrate a divine command combined with honor and respect for the Creator. A divine command involving respect. The 15th occurrence of Beit. Is found in the word Bayamim, meaning in the seas. Found in the vessel Bereshit 1:22, and God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the birds multiply in the earth. Numerical principle number 15 is comprised of principle 10, a divine command, covenant, oath, or test of a command, combined with principle 5, honor and respect for creators in a long life. Inside the seas implies from within the waters, below the dry land. The environs of Earth, or Earth's environs, stretch from the bottom of the seas to the height of the firmament. I think I can see the command, but what about the honor and respect? Herbie, the honor and respect is reciprocal, in that the Creator commands and enables the creatures to multiply, and they in turn show honor and respect for the Creator by engaging in sexual behavior for the right purposes. Herbie, you might wonder how the creatures could show respect. How did the animals know to refrain from sexual activities with species other than their own? The blessing is a divine command involving mutual respect between the Creator and these specific animals, which have nostrils and can embrace both land and sea. The birds can embrace the land, sea, and air. Therefore, mutual respect is manifested from the bottom of the seas to the height of the firmament. Regrettably, mankind has struggled with this same command which was also given to him in Bereshit 1:28. Today, many question the biblical concern about homosexuality, but what is evident is that homosexuality rejects both the command and the blessing of the Creator. All creatures should be aware that it is contrary to the blessing of the Creator. Now, we're just talking about sexual behavior that is not for the purpose of procreating the species, or sexual behavior that cannot procreate. So this we need to keep in mind. The animals were held accountable to this stuff. We're doing things today, we force crossbreeding. Like, for example, for years we have made a combination between a donkey and a horse into a mule, but a mule is not able to continue on. There's no species of mules. They have no future. They're done. There is a written code within these animals that they know, but man wants to manipulate in these areas. And we need to think carefully about that, because we are in an area that's violating respect for the Creator. The 16th principle also involves two principles. This occurrence of Beit should demonstrate a divine command combined with something related to mankind or human nature. The 16th occurrence of Beit. The word Ba'aretz, meaning in the earth. Found in the vessel, Bereshit 1:22, and God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the waters in the seas, and let the birds multiply in the earth." Numerical principle number 16 involves principle 10, a divine command, covenant, oath, or test of a command, combined with 6 related to mankind or human nature. I'm lost here. The general command is to be fruitful and multiply. That was given to all moving creatures, including man. The birds are commanded to multiply in the earth, even though they are capable of navigating in land, sea, and air. Their home or birthing place should be tangible earth. I can see I need some help with this one. Herbie, we can only work with what we presently know. All the creatures mentioned in the text, or excuse me, of all the creatures mentioned in the text, only the birds are naturally able to navigate land, sea, and air. Man, like the birds, has developed a means to navigate the expanse and depths of the seas and ascend to the heights of the firmament. Perhaps there is a message here concerning man's future aerospace plans. We have a lot of people who are thinking about how life can be moved from this planet to another, how they're going to be able to live outside of this planet. And these are extraordinarily, extraordinary concepts, which at the moment appear to be within the reach of man. But the question is, are these concepts designed for man? And that is something that we need to give some thought to. Herbie, the 17th principle also involves two principles. This occurrence of Beit should demonstrate a divine command combined with a completion or a cycle. The 17th occurrence of Beit found in the word behemah, meaning cattle or livestock. Found in Vessel Bereshit 1:24, and God said, let the earth bring forth all kinds of living creatures. Okay, cattle and creeping things and beasts of the earth after their kind, and it was so. Numerical principle number 17. 10. A divine command, covenant, oath, or test of a command, combined with 7. Completion, cycle, or a cycle of repeated events. Command, completion, or cycle. The word behemah is used for livestock or cattle. God said is the command, but I need help on the second part. Perhaps the difficult question that should be asked is, why does the word behemah commence with a beit? If we go back to the word at the very beginning, Bereshit, that begins with a beit, that refers to inside. So here we have the word for livestock is beginning with a beit, behemah. So is there some kind of an inside connection that we should be looking for? Livestock is the first of the 3 living creatures mentioned. Beit relates to inside, which may relate to the cattle's diet and digestive system. Herbie, the livestock appears to represent a division of moving creatures that reflected the completed functional design of the Creator. And what do I mean there? It may be that they remain true to their diet of what they were supposed to eat. And if you go back, no animals were commanded to eat fruit or flesh. So somewhere along the line, I know this is a difficult thing to probably wrap yourself around, but somewhere along the line, the animal kingdom failed as well. And if you think this is stretching things, stop and think about this. The first recorded hint of any kind of death. Okay, now I'm not talking about human death. I'm talking about death in the animal kingdom. Is recorded to have taken place before the physical death of any man. When Adam and Eve transgressed the commandment, they attempted to cover themselves with leaves which were not suitable. And God covered them with skins that covered their nakedness, and that they were able to be in the presence of the Creator. The question is, animals had to die for those skins to be available. Something to think about. Perhaps the livestock were faithful to the Creator's command. Now, again, that seems on the surface to be, I'm not sure about that, but it says here in this verse that we're looking at, if you look at the latter part of the verse, and it says, and beast of the earth. And there's the garden event involved a beast of the earth. I mean, we have people who have taken the author's narrative and inserted new characters. But there is no character of Satan in the Torah, and the garden event clearly says that it was a beast of the earth that was involved in the garden downfall. There's good evidence from the scripture to suggest that the beast may have eaten of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which all beasts were forbidden to eat fruit of the trees. It was not their recommended diet. Again, you don't hear much said about that, but if you take the text literally as the author wrote it, understand it from his perspective, that's the way he presents the story. And I guess that old saying, that's his story and I'm sticking to it. So I don't understand the whole of it or the why of it, but the livestock, cattle, apparently maintained a special relationship between God and keeping his command. And they were able to serve as the sacrificial system, as something that is acceptable to be in the presence of the Creator. I don't understand the fullness of it, believe me, and I'm not trying to lead you down a far path, but it is what the Torah states, and we must deal with it, and we shouldn't allegorize it away and entertain the entrance of characters that do not exist, such as Satan. He does not exist in the Torah. He's a character that comes on the scene a long time after. Thus, the livestock are completely and perpetually able to serve the Creator. Wow. Since this is the 17th occurrence of Beit, there is a connection between a divine command and a completion or a cycle. That connection may be the Torah sacrificial system, as we've been kind of discussing here. Herbie, the 18th principle, also involves two principles. This occurrence of Beit should demonstrate a divine command combined with an exchange. The 18th occurrence of Beit, found in the word behemah, the livestock. Now you'll notice there's a hyphen, or in Hebrew it's called a makaf, that connects these two words together. The word et, in this case, is a direct object pointer. It just points specifically that that's what the action is pointing to. So, again, here we have the livestock. We're culminating this last occurrence with the livestock. Found in Bereshit 1:25, and God made the beasts of the earth after their kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creeps upon the earth after its kind. And God saw that it was good. So we know that we have families of creatures here that are lumped together as following their kind. And the 18th numerical principle combines 10, a divine command, covenant, oath, or test of a command, combined with 3, an exchange, good or bad. Wow, I was wondering if I'd ever get to 18. Here we go again. The Beit is related to the cattle or livestock. The perpetual commanded existence of acceptable livestock for sacrificial purposes is an example of an exchange, since the sacrificed animal is an exchange for the life of the worshiper. The Creator made the whole of everything that moves. But again, there is something special about the livestock. Now, I want to point to you that right here you have Ve'et. Okay, the et is the Aleph Tav, and it has the Segol vowel underneath of it. Yet down here you have Ve'et, and this time it has the Se'eh vowel. I'm calling this to your attention because there is a difference in those two. And you would only know that if you cataloged these occurrences according to the numerical structure, and I have done so. And I have found that there is this difference. It is assumed that these are direct object indicators, and in some cases they are. But in their first appearance in the Torah, in the very first word, they're definitely not direct object indicators. So that should let us know that there are other purposes. The important thing that I want you to know here is that according to the cattle, it has the Segol, Be'et. And this here means the whole of, but like the whole, a partial whole of. the whole of the cattle. The cattle are only a partial of these creatures that creep upon the earth, okay? But when you get down here to the creatures that creep upon the earth, this other say vowel is used, and that indicates the whole of the creatures that move, okay? So this is the absolute whole of, and this is a partial whole of. Now that's an aside thing, but you're not going to hear that elsewhere, and that really only comes to light when you carefully catalog how the Creator used them. Later on, I do have a teaching on Aleph Tav. Believe me, there are a lot of foolish teachings concerning Aleph Tav, and especially mystical type of things. And I can't explain it to you enough here because this is a very deep subject, but we will cover it later. But for the time being, there's more to Aleph Tav than you may have been told. And I want you to be aware of that. The command or word is let us make. The exchange must have something to do with cattle. Right on, Herbie. I think the exchange is related to the sacrificial purpose of livestock in the Torah faith. The Creator made the whole of Beit, everything that moves or creeps. But again, there is something special about the livestock. And incidentally, this is the sixth occurrence of this type of Aleph Tav, and if this is the sixth occurrence of it, then it would be related to mankind. So somehow or another, livestock has to be tied in with mankind, and the sacrificial system seems to be what that connection might be. As I said, for your information, this vessel contains the sixth occurrence of Aleph Tav with a with a Tse'e vowel. I'm going to look at using the vowel Tse'e. Yes. Okay, so here we have it's the sixth occurrence of this type of Aleph Tav with this vowel here. Okay. In my opinion, the evidence concerning the meaning of Beit being inside is convincing, but we are not done yet. Herbie, I believe that it is much more difficult to research the consonants than to research the syllables, consonant clusters, words, and most other Torah matters. Searching the consonants usually involves the opening chapters of the Torah, where there is a lot of congestion of terms and concepts, requiring intense focus on the part of the researcher. Herbie, we want to thank our viewers for their patience. This material is vital to a proper understanding of the Creator's purpose of giving this Torah to us. Herbie, we've discovered a lot of wonderful Torah insights in this investigation of Beit. However, the most important item that we need to be sure to memorize is that context matters. Context matters, context matters, context matters. Okay, I got it. Memorize the three main elements of comprehension. 1. Context. 2. Context. 3. Context. Let's go again. Context, context, context. In a nutshell, context is essential to both oral and written comprehension. Therefore, the only investigational source employed throughout our family of venues is the Torah text. No outside sources drive our investigation of the Torah. The secular glasses have been removed, the Jewish glasses have been removed, and the Christian glasses also have been removed. We use the context lenses exclusively. Context demonstrates the proper perspective. Herbie, I know that we are by no means proficient in biblical Hebrew, but if our intent of knowing Hebrew is to know the Creator and His Torah, then we have made immense progress. We are learning our Father's Hebrew from His perspective. Perhaps our viewers should ask themselves how much they have learned about Torah and Hebrew from our discussion. I knew we could learn Torah and Hebrew if he would just do it. I'm going to continue to push him because there is more that I want to know. Herbie, our next slide clearly states our purpose of Torah and Hebrew study. A closing word of instruction to a man of understanding, a maskil. Jeremiah 9:22 and 23. Thus says the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, nor let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches. But let him who glories glory in this, that he understands and knows me, that I am the Lord who exercises loving kindness, justice, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, says the Lord. Amen. Baruch atah Hashem. Oh, wow. The Torah is truly a luminous lamp upon our path of understanding. Before you leave, if you would like to see more videos related to the numerical structure of the Torah, please tell your friends and family about our YouTube channel, Torah 123, and our website, avipublications.com. Subscribe to our channel. Ring the bell. Most of all, share what you have learned. Please join us for our next journey down the path of understanding concerning the numerical structure of the Torah. Also, please visit avipublications.com and Torah 123 for more informative articles related to the numerical structure of the Torah. Shalom. teaching timeless Torah truths that are innovative, informative, and imperative. Torah 123, Aviv Publications. Shalom.